Welcome to our Two Posh podcast, everyone. I am Gabrielle. I'm your host, along with my beautiful daughter, Marcela.
Hello.
And our handsome co-host, Leighton.
How y'all doing?
Beautiful and handsome.
Yeah.
So very sparkly.
And our Spider.
Hello.
And this show, we're jumping right in, is about infidelity. Why, when, and how people stray. Mm-hmm. And to start off with, infidelity is the action or state of being unfaithful to a spouse or other sexual partner. So, you guys, signs of infidelity. What do you think?
Like from my experiences?
Go right ahead. Jump right in.
Disappearing, not answering the phone, being shady with their phone. I view cheating as flirting with someone. If I can't take your phone for a full 24 hours, or if you wouldn't be comfortable giving it to me, I would never take someone's stuff. But if you weren't comfortable to let me have your phone for a full 24 hours because you're a lying piece of shit, that's cheating. Flirting on social media is cheating, and you can tell. Kissing other women while you're there is cheating. The list goes on. And it's probably the worst thing you could do to someone because it is very hurtful, painful, and I would never do that to anyone. And you technically don't really love that person if you're cheating. As you can tell, I'm very heated and passionate about this subject, and it makes me like hot. It's the worst thing you could do to somebody. Seriously, the worst. You are a piece of shit if you cheat.
You don't have to have sex with somebody to be cheating.
Exactly. Yes.
Without question.
Yeah.
There's
emotional cheating.
Here's the thing. Just break up.
Break up.
Just break up with them. If you are wanting to go smash potatoes on somebody else, break up with this person and go do that.
Your description of having sex is always the funniest.
It changes every time.
It does. I love it.
I get uncomfortable saying the same things multiple times. But yeah, I think cheating, I mean, as soon as you start like hiding text messages, and I dated a girl who would always delete her text messages, like her whole message threads, so like she wouldn't ever have any text messages. And so anytime like I'd come around, like I mean, in my opinion, when it comes to that whole deal, as soon as you start causing trust issues is when something's off, something's weird.
Well, you always have to feel like, what am I doing right now? Would I do this in front of my partner? Yeah. Like, if they were right next to me, will I still do this? Mm-hmm. That's when you really have your...
That's cheating.
Meter what you should or shouldn't do.
I think too, if well, no, I guess you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. Yeah, if you wouldn't do it right next to them, then
there's also the excuses. I was drunk. I was this. No, because I have been blackout drunk before. For some reason, I've always ended up. I never lose my stuff. My phone is amazing, and I have never fallen on a dick. It just never happened. It's just so weird. Like I've never.
Funny enough, neither have I.
It's been like
that's wild, man.
It's crazy that I've never been that drunk, and you do know, and I hate that. I hate the excuses, but I love you. No, you actually don't, because I wouldn't do that to somebody that I love, because it's betrayal and it's lying and it's wrong. And so, and if I have feelings like that, I do break up, because there's something to be said about having the balls to actually be like, hey, I am not happy anymore, and we need to break up, because I feel like you can already tell if you like have a wandering eye. That's when you like start to know, like, that's shouldn't be. Because if you're really with someone, you don't notice anyone else. I feel like true.
I think that's 100% true. I've heard a lot of things argued about how I hear a lot of guys, actually. I've even heard it talked about in different churches and whatnot, that like guys, have to, keep control over their eyes and stuff like that, which I believe that without question. But like there's a conscious effort to doing it. But the only time I've ever truly been in love, it wasn't an issue.
Right.
There wasn't an issue at all. I've been like dating, maybe not casually dating, but like trying to, get to know somebody, dating where it wasn't so easy, where I would absolutely still noticing other people. And that's a red flag for me. Like if we just started hanging out and I'm still like catching myself looking at other people, that's an issue. But yeah, I think if you're in a committed relationship with somebody I think if you're in love with somebody that doesn't have, maybe later on, I don't know, maybe more than like 3 or 4 years, maybe. And I guess that's certainly, I wouldn't know, but in my experience.
I think obviously you're not dead. So somebody might see a pretty girl and say like, oh yeah, they're very pretty, or guy, he's very handsome, but you don't have those like attraction feelings. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but even if you do, if you're happy in your relationship, you wouldn't ever
act on them,
or you would actually, you almost kind of go, not worth it. Like, it's not worth jeopardizing the relationship I'm in. It's not worth, if you love someone truly, you wouldn't do that to them because you know it's going to hurt them a whole lot. So
I heard on a podcast actually a couple weeks ago, a woman, a young girl, I will say, a young girl, she was probably in her early 20s, said that the way dating is nowadays, that there are like certain sexual acts that aren't even considered cheating to them.
What?
Well, that we talk about it too. It's kind of the same thing.
What do you mean? Like
God's loophole?
These girls, right? These women were trying to say that like oral's not cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So if their boyfriend went out and got oral sex, they're like, I'll let it pass.
Right.
Oh,
That's
the
what they're
girls
saying.
are okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell no! No.
That really set me back, like made me lose a lot of faith in like dating nowadays. I was like, I would lose my damn mind. Like,
yeah.
I would never hit a woman, but like to say that there's never a reason, like Bill Burr says, to say there's not a reason, don't do it. But there's reasons.
Well, I think that is, how could you say that's not cheating?
It's total cheating.
But I think today it's a lot harder. There's a lot of stuff like social media and all that stuff for people to be tempted, but you can control that.
They say that like a lot of people say that social media causes trust issues and relationship issues, and ultimately leads to cheating and suspicion of cheating. But I believe wholeheartedly that social media is just fine. And I used to be a big proponent of that. Like, social media is awful for relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But getting older, like I used to, even if I got into a committed relationship, I deleted all my social media. Deleted it all. It's like, no, I don't want to give you a reason to feel like that towards me or to question me. Like, you got nothing. Like, I'm not doing anything. But I have come close to the idea that it's not social media as much your significant other is acting single on social media.
Right.
That's cheating.
Right.
1,000,000%.
I think it just accelerates what would have happened anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't need to like somebody to post pictures of me and stuff, but like, get your titties off Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. That makes sense.
Right. Let's talk about some clues that partners leave that might be straying. Your partner is becoming increasingly obsessed with physical fitness, and not in the good for your cardiovascular system way, but in the muscle toning, good for definition way. Your partner is spending an inordinate amount of money on clothing, especially of the form-fitting, hugs-that well-defined body variety. If your partner is male, maybe he spends his money on a flashy new car instead.
That would not be signs of cheating to me.
Your
Like,
partner, despite looking increasingly fit and sexy, is showing less erotic interest in you. Your partner seems to get easily irritated at you of late. Your partner is drinking a lot. Your partner is spending a lot of time on his or her smartphone and quickly turns it off when you enter the room. Your partner has a history of sexual unrestrictedness, and your partner is extroverted, and your partner is socially unconventional.
why did you start dating this person in the first place?
Right.
You know, like, this person sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. It's unbelievable, actually.
The panic you feel, like the panic when, like with the phone, I can see why that would be. Like, why did you just freak out when I walked behind you? Like, I will never go through someone's phone. I've done it twice, but there was good reason and I was completely right anyway. But I would never just outright go grab it. And I have learned now as I've gotten older, if I feel the need that I need to look through your phone, we're done anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that also just disappearing. That's the biggest one. Like, where the hell are you? Phone's off. That's a big one.
That's absolutely unacceptable in today's age.
I don't know. I have I definitely see that from both sides, because like I was raised and taught that like pay attention to people. So like if I'm on my phone being completely innocent and not doing anything whatsoever, but if you come into the room, now I'm spending time with you.
Right.
So like I'll turn my phone off and set it down, because like now we're having a moment.
Right. But I'm talking about like the panicky, like
Like you just got caught doing
Yeah.
something.
Turn that off, I think. Did I?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Hear it. Oh, there you go. Oh, hello. Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
I just don't know. I think cheating is just so terrible. And we talked about this one before about how much damage it does. And our divorce rate is so high. And the children, like your family, everything gets broken up over, like, what? A few seconds of pleasure that you think you have to
Or
have.
people cheat and then end up with who they cheated with, too.
That's so
Really?
insane to me.
Yeah.
How does
I
that
don't.
happen?
I don't ever. I will
If
never.
they'll cheat with
understand
you.
Are you
that.
being sarcastic?
If they'll cheat with you,
how
they'll
does
cheat
that
on you.
happen, Marcella? Tell us about that.
You're not being sarcastic. Because this just happened to me.
What happened?
The person that cheated on me ended up with who they cheated with.
If they'll cheat with you, they'll cheat on you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
That is
if
the
that's the
truth.
way your relationship got started,
I
that'll
feel like I know what you're talking about too.
probably be the way it ends.
You know?
No, but
I
that's
think
not.
so.
What?
He said he feels like he knows who I'm talking
But
about.
that's not how that happened in your case. I mean, you didn't cheat with that person.
I didn't cheat.
That's
on
what
him.
they're saying, that if you cheat.
No, they're saying that because he cheated on me, that means he'll cheat on her too.
Oh, for
Like,
sure. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That's for sure. Already kind of is.
Yeah.
Some people suck.
Yeah. That's true.
He goes back to that. I love
Yeah.
that. Reasons why people cheat. Motivations differ by sex. Men are more likely to have affairs than women and are often seeking more sex or attention. Men express their love in more physical way. They often don't have the perfect feeling words for their wife, so sex becomes an important path to connection and intimacy. If men aren't sexually satisfied, for instance, if their spouse declines sex often, they take that rejection to heart, and it can easily translate to feeling unloved. In fact, men are more likely than women to cheat due to a feeling of insecurity.
Mm.
The healthy mind. If women cheat, they're often trying to fill an emotional void. Women frequently complain of disconnection from a spouse and of the wish to be desired and cherished. Women are more likely to feel unappreciated or ignored and seek the emotional intimacy of an extramarital relationship.
But shouldn't you talk about that? I feel like everything comes back to communication.
100%.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shouldn't you say, like, I feel this way, like, in our relationship? Or try to
If we
fix
needed to
it
talk
first?
about our feelings, they'd be called talkings. So
They're
No, I'm just kidding. I stole that from a
what are
TV
they
show.
called?
I'm just kidding. I stole it from a TV show.
But what was it?
If we need to talk about our feelings, they'd be called talkings.
Talking.
But no, I totally agree with you on that. I'm just kidding.
I think that sometimes it's harder because men aren't as emotional as women. So sometimes it can seem like maybe annoying.
Well, I'll say this right now. It's very weird as a man to have the conversation of, I need more sex from you. Because automatically you seem like a piece of crap. You seem like a dog.
Oh,
And that conversation can be turned so quickly on you.
really?
Very much so. Very easily.
So how about the man? I mean, men are not stupid. They know how to handle women. So be more romantic. Put extra effort into it.
I'm a firm believer. I read books, ladies. Like,
Ladies.
read the 5 love languages. Like, learn what your
agree.
significant other needs to feel loved. Like,
Mhm.
if you need to get that, go get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Great book.
if you need sex, go get it. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in a committed relationship, like, that person's still with you. They're still at least somewhat interested in you. There's something you can do. And if you can't figure it out, ask, hey, what do you need from me?
Mhm.
What do you need from me? Because I'm out. Because, like, been a minute, you know?
The love languages one is a good
Mhm.
one, actually, if you are in a relationship.
It is, because women and men, of course, the love languages is so different. But if you as a man, for instance, understand the woman and say, this one loves getting gifts that are thoughtful and thought through and whatnot, it just makes everything better, I think.
Yeah.
There's it's a weird kind of ironic thing how whenever you and your significant other are kind of going through a thing like that, both of you kind of feels underappreciated or maybe not loved or whatever you may feel, the natural human reaction is to, like, pull back and be like, well, why don't they do that for me?
Right.
When if you were to just figure out, you don't want to do stuff for them until they've done stuff for you. It's a pride thing.
Mhm.
If you would just lay down your pride and go over and above to do the things for you, you'll begin to get what you need in return.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you have to make the conscious decision to love that person, even though you don't feel very loved right now.
I
And
love
that's
that.
how
I
marriages
love
work.
that. That's very, very good.
Not that I've ever been married, but that's how it works, I think.
You are right.
But you have had your parents are very happily married, correct?
Mhm,
For
yeah.
as long as they have been, which is very rare.
Yes.
In
Today.
a long time.
Yeah.
So there are causes and risk factors for affairs as well, and risk factors with an individual. The general rule is that it takes two to tango, or in this case, to mess up their marriage with an affair, but there are certainly exceptions. Individual factors that may increase the chance of infidelity include addiction. Substance abuse issues, whether it's addiction to alcohol, drugs, gambling, or something else, are clear risk factors. Alcohol in particular can reduce inhibitions so that a person who wouldn't consider having an affair when sober may cross the line.
Bullshit. It's an excuse. I hate excuses. I hate them.
Somebody who's cheated wrote that article.
I
think-
agree.
I've been drunk a lot of my adult life. You know, most of my career is in bars.
Yes.
It's very, very just quick access. Never have I been in a committed relationship with somebody and been so drunk that I cheated. Never.
Right.
I had this. I heard this really awesome story about this guy who went out with his buddies and got drunk, and his wife came and picked him up. Like, buddies called him. He was way too drunk to drive. Wife came out, picked him up, got him home, and was trying to get him like undressed and in bed. And he was drunkenly, just blackout drunk, like, "Quit it, I'm married!" Like yelling at this lady. And when he woke up, she had like whole house clean. Like she was like, "Whatever you want." He thought she was gonna be pissed because he was so drunk the night before. She's like, "Nope."
Aw, that's cute.
funny. Previous cheating. The saying, once a cheater, always a cheater, is more than an old wives' tale. A 2017 study was the first to evaluate the credibility of this saying. In this study, those who were involved in an extramarital sexual relationship were 3 times more likely to become involved in extramarital relationships in their next relationship. I think it's just a character thing.
It's experience. Like,
It's a character
think
thing.
you
it's
get
like-
away with it once, or even if you
Mhm.
don't, it's easier to do it again.
I think you treat it like a substance. Like if you do it once, you're going to be more prone to do it again. Like you're going to have crossed that doorway to now that's a thing that you've done. Like once you've done it the first time, it's now an option.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some men are just womanizers, and they're not like, you can joke about it in one way, and then I think there are some like they just can never be satisfied with one. Like they're never gonna.
I joke about it moment to moment, like all the time. But yeah.
But you still, if you were with someone, you'd respect them enough to not do that.
Oh, without question.
You know what I mean? I think it's the guys who just cannot, like, it's just never enough. Like, there's never going to be one that can make them stop doing that.
I think narcissistic people as well, they're just they only care about themselves. They only care about their own feelings. They don't.
True.
I mean, and liars, people that lie a lot, that makes it easy for them. They're so professional in lying that they think they can get away with it. Mental illness. They say some mental illness, such as bipolar disorder, are a risk factor for cheating in marriage. Childhood issues.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, in my personal opinion, there's only one thing on this entire planet that causes cheating: selfishness.
Yes.
Period. Point blank.
Amen.
There's the common misconception is that the difference between love, the opposite of love is hate, and that's not the case at all. Love and hate are actually really closely related. We talked about that earlier, but they're both passion emotions. But love, the opposite of that is selfishness, because love is the act, is doing something for other people, and that's biblical. But to be selfish and to be all about yourself is the pure and simple opposite of love.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that causes cheating is selfishness.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I'd like it explained that way, actually.
Sex addiction. Certainly sex addiction in one partner increases the chance that they will be unsatisfied with the physical aspect of their marriage and look elsewhere.
We just put labels. Today we get to put a label on everything. Like, well, I have this, so it's okay. So I have a sex addiction, so it's okay for me to cheat, you know?
I'm unhappy and dissatisfied.
It's a way for you to not be punished. It's a way for you to
Exactly.
get out of your responsibility in the decision that you made.
Mhm.
You made a decision. You screwed up.
Yeah.
If there's even a chance of you holding on to that relationship, the only way if you're gonna cheat on somebody is to have a real, like, I'll even use a biblical term, repentance moment, to be like,
I fucked up.
I screwed up so bad. I know that you're furious. I know that you're going to be mad at me for a really long time. It won't ever happen again. Give me a chance to gain your trust back. Have that type of moment, and then to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that person will give you another chance. Probably not.
Or if they do, it's going to be super hard and there's going to be very, very big issues.
Earning
probably.
trust back is hard.
Hard.
Yeah.
My favorite, I told you, is like they say if you take a piece of paper and you crumple it up and then you try to straighten it back out, it's just never the same. And imagine like the relationship trying to be better, but the damage you do to somebody else is so awful. Like that they have to work through even if you're not together. Like
if you both want to make
someone.
that relationship work, though, I mean, you could still write a note on that piece of paper.
That's true.
You can, but I mean, it's also like a broken cup. You can put it together, but there's always going to be cracks in it. So
depends on what type of glue you use.
You're so stressed out all the time. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's what you can't just go back to living regular now. Like now you got to step it up. Like you have to earn trust back, which is super hard. But I mean, it's absolutely possible.
It is, and I've seen it too. Yeah. So I know that.
There's still so many other reasons that they give us that they say are reasons for cheating. But I think we as a group have come to the conclusion
They're
that
all
that's all excuses and we are not buying any of it.
Yeah, those are just feel-good excuses.
They're feel-good excuses. And
this is why you screwed up.
Yeah.
And feel bad for me because there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So you should feel bad for me.
I'm bored or whatever. It's all I. So,
or it's your fault.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
There you go.
I'll punch you in the neck.
It's your fault I cheated.
So we're going to say it's all selfishness. That's the only reason people cheat. Stop being so selfish. And we're going to take a short little break to hear a little commercial for our boutique. And next we're going to go to our sweet Miss Polly to hear her take on some of this.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Polly.
Hello.
And do the jingle.
This
Jingle
is Penis and Pussy Talk with Miss Polly.
Miss Polly, we are talking about why, when, and how people stray and infidelity statistics. And we have come to the conclusion here as a group combined that we don't care about anything. That's all excuses that we think it's selfish people. But do you think that people cheat because the sex is bad and not enough or non-existent? Is that a thing?
I think that kind of intimacy, if it's bad, missing, non-existent, and there's no communication to repair it, then it definitely opens the door to why people cheat, because they're seeking something that they're not getting fulfilled in their relationship.
And how could they possibly fix it, or should they just break up?
The thing about, in my opinion, as to if it's possible to repair a relationship after somebody cheats, it depends on mitigating factors in terms of, is there some underlying reason that I wouldn't go forward with trying to help? And that would be if there's drug abuse, if there's abuse, physical abuse, or perhaps the other person there's no remorse and it's a continual thing.
Right.
Does that make
it makes
because
sense?
In that case, there's no repairing that. There's no working through it. There's no, I would not say, yes, by all means, save your marriage. No, that marriage is irreparable in my opinion, or relationship. Just, I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't move forward with it.
Yeah, just let it go.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I agree
now,
with you.
I mean, if
I would never cheat on you, Miss Polly.
Thank you. I would never cheat on you either, Leighton.
Oh, how sweet.
As long as, of course, all parties needs are being met and there's communication.
I'm strong and I talk, so.
I like to talk. I talk a lot.
That's all right. You talk a lot. I listen.
Well, thank you, Miss Polly. Yes, it did. And we love you, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye.
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 That takes us to our question of the day.
The two posh girls ask the question of the day.
I just love her voice. Everyone, what is your favorite way to be seduced?
Oh.
I've never thought about that before.
I love the no warning I get of what's about to happen.
I didn't have that warning either.
I tell nobody.
Okay. Go ahead, Marcella. Take it away.
I have no idea. I've never thought about that.
There's
Question.
saying favorite is pretty hard. There's like multiple things that can happen that like, you know, like we'll do it. But favorite, that's tough. I will say I came home one time. This is maybe 2014, yeah, that sounds correct. I played 7 shows that week, and I got booked really, really weird on my schedule where each show was back and forth in cities. So I was playing Midland, Lubbock, which is miserable because every day I still working a full-time job in the oil field at the time. So I'm working 9-10 hours each day, having to drive to Lubbock, drive straight back, work all day, play a show in Midland, go to bed, work all day, drive to Lubbock, play, drive back, work all day. I mean, it was rough.
Crazy.
Rough week. Ended on a Sunday night. Last show of the week was in Lubbock, where my girlfriend at the time lived. And we've been together for a little while at that point. And super sweet, like girl that I was like, thought I was going to marry, that type of thing. Anyway, I got back to Lubbock, and the show bombed hard. It was awful. Nobody showed. It was like a big showcase that this company had put together, and they were like, it's going to be huge. There was like 8 bands playing, and we're sitting around, and like 3 people came.
Oh,
it's in a huge venue too, so no one, like they did a horrible job advertising it. The only 3 people came from like our social medias.
Oh no!
And they were charging way too much for tickets. It was just a bad thing. So I'm upset. I'm completely exhausted. I'm tired. I call my girlfriend. I'm like, I'm leaving the show. Like, I'm just gonna come. She's like, yeah, come on over. I just finished making you dinner. And I got over there, got to her house. I'm talking like beautiful meal. We had pork chops, like table set, sat down, sexy lighting. Like it was just like I had a nice evening with my woman. And then and then afterwards, like I'm finishing eating. She's like taking stuff away. She comes and like kind of rubbing on my shoulders a little bit, takes me by the hand, walks me upstairs, and she'd been running a bath, had a little romanticism, and I was just like, I was blown away by just how, I mean, just nurturing she was being, I guess, at the time. And wasn't always like that. She wasn't always like that. But I guess I was just so taken aback by how, I mean, that did it for me. Like just being nurturing and being caring. That's what really did it for me. And of course it was super romantic. But I mean, she didn't have to do anything particularly sexual or anything of that nature to seduce me. That's not how it.
No.
Just taking care of me is.
I think in that sense, that basically is what is for everyone. I mean, the more you, like what I said earlier, it's almost a love language thing.
Mm-hmm.
What works for you, like if that is attention and be super kind, flowers, gifts, dinners, whatever that is for that person, I think is probably going to be the answer to that question.
Yeah.
That's how you get kissed on the mouth where I come from.
Ladies.
Leighton loves to hold hands and kiss on the mouth.
Damn right I do.
Is that even a question?
No. Spider.
I don't have any kind of favorite because I'm not the kind of person that gets seduced. I do the seducing.
Shoot, dude. That don't surprise me.
I don't know. That's a weird question for me.
Spider, I bet you got a sexy dance, huh?
I've got some moves.
Oh, my man.
Mom?
What I just said.
Yeah.
It's flowers, gifts, dinners, being sweet, being attentive, paying attention. Like, yeah, like all of the above, like just
Yeah.
being nice and kind and
Calm and
calm,
peaceful.
Yeah, all of that.
All those things.
But really, like I need a lot of attention. I admit it.
I can tell for your text messaging habits for sure.
I mean, it's
attention.
just how it is.
That checks out. What was yours?
She doesn't know.
I don't know. I
How
think
do you
it's just,
not know?
Just
I don't
That's
know. I
so
guess like just romantic, sweet. I don't really know.
Oh
I don't
my
think everyone's
God.
ever done that to
so
me.
vague.
Mm. Well, then say what it is. So it's
I don't know.
Step
Yeah, the
up,
magician
man.
might be
The
listening.
heck?
I don't know. Just sweet.
Step it up, man.
God, man. Like I have
Jeepers.
like a lot of guys.
Jeepers.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Well, and that disappointing,
Boring. I
the
know.
disappointing question of the day. We'll end the show, and next episode will be can marriages and relationships survive infidelity? So stay tuned.